Okay. Oh my God. Of course they started. There's like yard work going on right outside. Of course that happened. Okay. All right. We are going to get started. Sorry for the little technical difficulties. So, welcome to Born for This. This is Reinvent Yourself in 2025. I cannot believe that's going on outside. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let me know in the chat where you are from here today and what brought you to this event. I wanted to give you guys a bit of an overview of what we're going to be doing. So this is a 2-hour workshop that we're going to be doing called Reinvent Yourself Before 2025. The whole purpose of this event is I'm so over New Year's resolutions and goal setting. I find it to be not only masculine, but it doesn't actually support. And year after year, so many come back with the exact same goals, or they lost steam midway through. What I have found as a reinvention queen is that it's actually doing the things that we're going to do today that's going to support you in having your best year yet. Because it's actually not about New Year's resolutions. We can all make lists and goals till the cows come home, but it's actually who you're being. It is your identity. So I would love, before we get started in today's event, and I'm going to make sure you can all hear me, I would love to know where you guys are coming in from and what brought you to today's event. What is it about this event that really called to you and had you sign up to be a part of this? Because a 2-hour investment of your time. So let us know in the chat where you're coming in from and what brought you to this event. And the other thing that I would love to know about you is, what is one thing that you would love to achieve in 2025? That in this next year, if there was only one thing, and we're going to get into this, but I'd love for you guys to share in the chat what that would be for you. Whether it's generally the things that people want, it's either health, wealth, love, or around their career and purpose. So what would that be for you? You only get one, not one that has 10 things inside of it. And there's a reason why I'm having you do this. So either write that down for yourself or share in the chat. Okay, so let's dive into today's workshop. If you are new to me, I'm Melissa Catherine. I am a transformational coach, a holistic nutritionist. I'm known as a spiritual nutritionist. I combine helping you to get intuitively connected with reprogramming your mind. And we start with the body. That is honestly I have found the pinnacle. And that is why my clients and community, that's how they first really come to me. Because if you give me a woman that's unstoppable in her body, she will be unstoppable in life. If she feels confident in her body, if she has energy, if she feels healthy, she will show up powerfully and she will continue to go higher, not only in her own personal evolution, but she will positively impact all of those around her. So that is my mission. That's what I'm committed to. Now, I personally have been a coach now for 18 years, almost 19, which is crazy. I started when like no one was coaching. And I have to tell you, I've tried everything. Why reinvention over New Year's resolutions? Why are you here? Why reinvention over goal setting and habit stacking? Because I also know the power of the feminine is dropping in to your divine connection, learning to trust yourself and access that point. And it starts with the way that you nourish yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, and it all stacks on top of each other. But why reinvention over anything else? I did years of vision boards. I had spiritual awakenings. I'm going here. I'm living all over the world. I'm studying manifestation, law of attraction. I got it. Neville Goddard, in depth around law of assumption. And you want to know what? Out of all of that, I would have vision boards looking back at me and I would go, none of that happened. Why? Why did that happen for me? I'm teaching this. I'm able to manifest certain things, but why are there blocks around others? Why is it that I can create this much wealth in my life, but I'm struggling with love? Why is it that I can create, I'm on my purpose, I'm on my mission, I've got this, but I can't have that? what's happening here, and why is it that year after year I'm getting a certain level of success and happiness, but there's things that I feel like they're eluding me. I have these dreams looking back at me that I don't actually feel in my body. I'm not able to connect with them. What is going on here? And why is it that I'm watching other people, quote unquote, quantum leap? What is that all about? Yes, I understood metaphysics completely. I've actually healed myself of cancer in under 8 weeks, right? Couldn't find it. How? Well, what I did is what I want to teach you. And once I identified it, I sat there and I said, oh my God, this is what I did. This is how I actually transformed my body and have maintained the same weight for like 25 years now. This is how I went from struggling with my weight, being overweight, having disordered eating, and my worth completely tied to my body and to my weight, right? Completely controlling my life. This is how I actually went to New York City without ever being trained in fashion and had a career in fashion for over 12 years. This very thing is how I healed myself of cancer. Like healed it, eradicated it, gone, donezo, bye. This is how I got on the other side. When I say disordered eating, where I felt like I was one of those. I mean, when they say crazy food thoughts, it's true. You know, that's how I had a career for over 10 years, just speaking into weight. Why? And I had women over 100 pounds to women that only had 10 pounds to lose say, how is it you're in my head? Because it's never about the weight. The game is still the same. It's about you with you. And that's what this is. So what did I see was the power, and why am I here today? Because I saw that it was actually shifting my identity. It was reinventing myself so powerfully that it was undeniable that my manifestations would come to me without effort. That it was undeniable that I could release the weight and that it could be easy, that it was undeniable that massive amounts of success and wealth and opportunities could come to me, that I would just happen to be in these places where people that were on a level of success or celebrities just happened to be there. No, it was my vibration. It was who I was being. It was the energy that I was carrying. And what I found with reinventing yourself, and what we're going to do here today in this 4-step framework, is that it takes all the details and the mechanics and the controller, the perfectionist, the part in you that's going, I need to be so detailed, I'm going to do it this way. And it lets the divine come in and take hold. Because you're being a vibrational match in frequency that the universe responds to, because the universe, the language of the universe is that of vibration. It is not sitting there. That's why you end up with things where you're going, but that's not what I wanted. Like that's the opposite of what I wanted. Now, and that's when people go, yeah, I'm always afraid the other shoe will drop. You're afraid the other shoe will drop because you had an energy that was dominated by fear and doubt versus your desired reality. So yes, the other shoe did drop, but what if we can control it? What if we can actually sit back and harness this potent energy and then let the universe, God, source energy, whatever it is that is for you, for me, that is God, that is universe. I'll be speaking interchangeably, use it in a way that speaks to you. But what if we could just allow that to filter in, that we can say that I desire it this way. And I also know that just by who I'm being, all of that and more is going to come to me. So whatever your primary thing, when we first got here today, I said, put in the chat, what is that one thing? What is that one thing that you desire? Because that one thing is going to be the lever that's going to bring it all into you. And one of the things that I see that happens so often is the laundry list of goals that feels so unattainable that the mind can't conceive. Well, what do we know about the mind? As a master hypnotherapist, diving deep in the realm of transformation for almost 20 years now, 2 decades. My biggest transformation being myself, and then going into all of the clients that we've serviced, right? We've had thousands go through our programs, hundreds that I've worked with privately. And I can tell you this, that the ones that shift powerfully and have it be, and they continue to stay with me, it's because they've adopted a new identity and they continue to go higher and higher. Because you came here, you're human, came here to expand and to express, and it will evolve whether you want to or not. So either we get on the train and we say, yes, I am open, I am ready, bring it on. What do you want to show me? Because every trigger is an opportunity. Everything that happens in life is working for you. And when we pivot our mindset to see that and own that identity, then everything is magical all around you, because you just get to go, yes, I received. Oh, okay, wow, that was a lot. My mom had a stroke this summer and I felt like I was on a firing range. We thought we lost her. She's my person, best friend, very close to my parents, very close to my family, Italian, Irish, like they're my peeps. Devastated in one day like that. But it wasn't just that. It was my mom. It was my dad breaking down in front of me, literally saying, I need you to do. Like he's my rock, right? Out. Could not. Literally was like, I don't know what to do with myself. I need you to make all decisions. What else happened? Then everything with family. That Rumi quote, you think you're enlightened until you spend a weekend with your family. Well, imagine when there's huge paramount things that happen. It was like one after another. And finally, I just said, I surrender all. God, you must have something so huge for me. Put me on the firing range. It felt like it was one bullet after another. I didn't bypass it. But I saw, okay, this is creating a version of me that I otherwise could not be. So sure, let's go. I don't want this over a decade. Let's bring it, like firing range, bring it on. So why am I saying this to you? Because we're looking at 2025 and you and I both know, right? It's like the holidays are here, that everybody the week right after Christmas, no matter what you celebrate, on the 26th, until the 30th, there's going to be 50 million different New Year's resolutions. Join me. We're going to do a vision board. We're going to do this. I'm not poo-pooing any of that. But why don't we be one step ahead? That's why we're here today. What if we already create the version of you that you want to be? So when that comes, you can do your resolutions. You can create your vision board, but you're going to do it from the identity of I'm already her. I'm already him. I know it. I feel her. In fact, every present, every gift, everything that I receive and open, I'm going to do it through the energy of I'm her. Is this the way that I would dress? Is this the way that I'm going to show up to my family? Is this the way that I'm going to be with my partner, with my children in life? Or if you're alone, it doesn't matter. Is this the way that I'm going to be with me? Am I going to sit and numb out because I'm feeling lonely? Or am I going to be so tethered to the version of me that I know is coming in for me, to all the things, to the life? Yes, I see this in my 3D reality, but this is nothing more than a creation of my own mind from a year ago today. So right now in this moment, instead of overeating or over drinking and sitting and watching Netflix and I'm by myself, I'm feeling lonely, I'm going to actually be in the embodied state of full celebration, because I know where I'm going. I know what's here for me. And that's what we do in reinvention. I've seen it time and time again, and I can tell you this too. The very first time that I saw the way that I reinvented myself, I left college. I had always struggled with my weight. I was called thunder thighs, bubble butt. I was highly criticized. I don't want to go into like who and when, but when I was younger, there was a lot of pressure on the way that I needed to look and how I needed to act and be. And especially as an Italian woman, it's like, just be happy. We don't show anger. We don't show sadness. You be this way and you look this way. And that's what you do. And you don't have too much to say. That was a lot of the messaging that I received. So needless to say, the way that I looked and the pressure around that, and then being celebrated when I would release weight, right? And seeing the acknowledgement and the level of respect that I would receive from people. And all of a sudden, I released weight, right? And we want to say release, by the way, guys. We don't want to lose the weight. We don't want to get it back again. Words are power. We're going to get into that today. But I just wanted to share a bit of when I first understood the power of reinvention. And I saw, and I said to myself, and I moved into, at this time I was in Hoboken right after college. And I remember I was just sitting there and I'm like, I'm so sick of my weight being something that dictates or detracts from the amount of happiness that I experience. I'm feeling bad. I don't like that I like my clothes. I'm putting my pants on. I've got a gap in the back. They're either, I have to go up a size because my butt and my thighs are bigger, but then I need to hem the pant. Like, I just remember I felt so, and I said to myself, Melissa, you have control over this. Let God do the rest. right? Let the universe fill in, but do your part. If you don't like it, you get to change it. And you get to learn about food and you get to, and so what did I do? It wasn't, oh my God, I'm going to systematically reinvent. I had no idea what I was doing, but I went on the desire. And all of a sudden I said, you know what? I want to feel better in my body. I want to start working out. It never really worked out. I was not an athlete at all, right? So what was this that happened? So then I decided I was going to start working out. So then I started working out, and then I started to notice that when I was going to the gym after work, my roommates were coming home and having pizza and watching reruns, and I would come in and I would feel this pride. And I love the way that I felt. And I remember sitting there going, well, I don't want to go eat pizza. I just went for a run, or I went to a spin class, or I did something. This was like all very new to me. So I started eating healthier. Again, it was just one little movement, one little stack on top of another, one step forward. And then all of a sudden, I would work out, and then I go, you know what? I think I'm going to go in my room and read. I don't actually want to sit in front of the TV, because every time I sit in front of the TV, then everyone's snacking, and then I'm snacking. And I actually would rather just go read something. And all of a sudden I just kept bettering myself. And then as I was releasing weight, my love of fashion. So I always loved fashion. I used to make my own clothes. I made my prom dress, all the things. And so I didn't know, right? Because when I was growing up, I didn't have Google and we didn't have cell phones. I'm 46. I'm on that weird cusp where so I didn't even think that could be like a career, right? I was like, I love this, but like, can you do that? I was told creative things couldn't make money, right? Starving artist. So there was a lot of pre-programming. And here's the beautiful thing, and we're going to get into this in reinvention. So all of a sudden, then I started working out in the mornings. Then I started going into my job, and people, I noticed they looked exhausted, and I had all this energy. And then they were I felt like I had like this leg up, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, you already went to the gym? And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I did me already. This is amazing. And I was like, I don't have to worry about all the people in the gym after work. I don't have to so I just started doing what I call is stacking the benefits and stacking the evidence. So even if my body wasn't immediately changing, I knew I was. I knew I was feeling better. I knew inevitably that weight would come off because I was making changes that were positive. So there was no way that they weren't going to give me a positive result. As I continued on with that, my entire identity shifted. I then became the girl that was healthy, that everybody started asking, what are you doing? How do you look like? How did you lose weight? What are you eating? And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Then I got more respect. Then I had all this confidence. Then I noticed girls started looking at me differently. I had never had that before. I wasn't the, super pudgy girl, but I wasn't the girl that I was the girl that had, was a little overweight. It was like, I was just not there, right? I was a pretty girl, but there was something. And all of a sudden and I noticed, I was like, oh, now that goes into a whole other thing with the slippery slope when your worth gets tied to something outside of you. It's called outsourcing our energy, our power. And that's when we disconnect from our intuition, which brings me to another thing. This is one of the pillars that we teach in our reinvention program about being intuitively connected. Because as women in particular, your intuition, girl, that is your superpower. And when you're locked in there and you trust yourself and you act on that, it is the desires of your heart that pull you forward, and everything just feels seamless and easy, from wealth to love, because you're in that flow, you're in that energy. You're in that divine connection. We're going to get into that more today. But I want you guys to understand that what happened from that was what led to me not only becoming a holistic nutritionist, doing fitness competitions, supporting, like I said, thousands of women, then actually creating my own business, getting out of fashion. But it was this whole thing. I never could have seen it. I followed an impulse. I followed something that my higher self was calling me to, that said, hey, you've got this. You start here. You can do this. You don't need to be stuck in a pattern that isn't serving you. You don't need to go, but if I stayed the same, see, in order to have something we've never had, we need to do something we've never done. I had never been the girl that was going to the gym and eating healthy. I grew up in an Italian household. I mean, I ate as much as my two older brothers. We just thought that was normal. It wasn't until I healed myself of asthma by taking dairy out. I had no idea. I walked out, I had 3 inhalers. I was always getting breathing treatments. Every time I got sick, we're like, taking steam showers. I'm on albuterol. I took dairy out. I never had an asthma attack again. There was never wheezing. There was never a medication ever again. And then I was like, food is medicine or poison. This is crazy. I was blown away by the power of the body. And I fell in love with my body in a way that I never had, and with health and nutrition. And my body and my connection and health became my lever to my best self. So I asked you guys in the beginning of this workshop, what is that one thing for you? That one thing that if you achieved it, you would be so proud. If you had it, you would just be like, yes. And that it would up-level every area. I find the women that come to me, they want to feel healthy. They want energy. They want to age backwards. They want to feel confident. They want to feel sexy. They want to look good naked. They want to be intimate. They want to feel sexy and alive, right? So it starts there, but it's really about a bigger mission and vision. They want to be the best. They want to inspire their children. They want to inspire their grandchildren. They want to be a force. They have a mission. They have a purpose, even if they don't know what that is. So they know that by nourishing their mind, nourishing their body with the highest food, not sugar, not eating tons of carbs, not eating to where you feel sick, your stomach's only the size of a fist, but eating for energy, knowing what your body needs, knowing that it will heal itself, and that your health is your wealth, and that will catapult you to your best version of you. So we start there and we integrate that into everything that we do. So when we're looking at reinvention today, guys, I just wanted you to hear my body was one of the ways, and extremely powerful, but I have done this so many times. I'm the queen of reinvention. And I love to teach it because I find New Year's resolutions are about what you're doing, not who you're being. New Year's resolutions are about masculine energy, striving and struggling and looking back and going, why didn't I do that, with this regret? No, we want to go into 2025 being like, I am fired up, I am inspired, and this is my year. I don't even need to know why, I don't need to know how, I just need to believe it to receive it. I need to be it and feel it and saturate my mind with the consciousness, because the mind cannot conceive of what it cannot see. And when we activate the energetic body, the emotion in the body doesn't know the difference. Just like the mind doesn't know the difference between a dream or reality, your mind is nothing more than an artifact of past consciousness. So your mind is never going to get you to where you want to be. So if you feel like you are stuck and you're sitting there and you're going, I'm stuck, I don't know what I want, you are giving a direct command to your mind to keep you stuck, to confuse you, not to elevate you. Your mind takes everything you say, think, and feel literally. So if you're sitting there and you say things like, this never works for me, this is just who I am, everyone in my family, cancel, clear, delete, but do you get what I'm saying? Everyone in my family, watch what you say. So I feel like there is a lot of darkness here today. I'm going to move this a little bit closer. You guys can't see, I put a Christmas tree up and I was hoping that you could see it. Okay. See, much better lighting, right? So I really want you to understand, we want to watch our words. So I want to talk to you about the framework that I do in our reinvention programs, because if you do this today, and those of you that registered, you have an amazing workbook that I created specifically for you to guide you through this transformation. Okay. So please, if you did not register through the exact link, we have it. You know what I'm going to do? I will put it here. And that way you'll be able to get the workbook. The workbook is really powerful. I find that, yes, it's beautiful to put me on and listen, but when you're able to read along and sit and process and then actually do the internal work with going in with you, that's where the power happens. So really, whether it's me or somebody else that you're listening to, please, if you actually want 2025 to be the year that you're like, you quantum leap, that's where reinvention, you don't even have to like quantum leaping by metaphysics, right? It just means that you are hopping to another timeline that already exists for you. It's proven with quantum physics that there are several different versions of us. I'm not going to get too caught up in this, but there's several different versions. There's the version of you right now. If you're sitting there and you're like, I want love, there's a version of you that's married to your soulmate. If you're sitting there and you're struggling with money and you're like, I just want to become a millionaire, I want to become a billionaire, there's a version of you that has all that money, that's living that life. So what do we want to do to get to that timeline? We're going to do an exercise here today where I'm going to take you through how to do that. But I also just want to say this. Quantum leaping is truly, if you assume the identity of the version of you that has the millions, has the love, then inevitably you will end up acting in accordance with that version of you. And therefore you will shift timelines immediately. And you will see it start to happen in your outer reality. All of a sudden you'll go, oh, that's so interesting. I just talked about that 5-bedroom house that I wanted. And I was dreaming about it. I put it on my vision board. And then now I just talked to my friend who's a realtor and told me this new amazing 5-bedroom house came on, birds before land. Oh, that's so interesting. I just wrote down that this time next year, I'm married to my soulmate. And then I just got a message that somebody wants to set me up. Be a hell yes to that. Why? What's happening? You just shifted timelines. So we want to be grateful for the triggers. We want to be grateful for the hard times. We want to be grateful for the people and the places, because everything is actually always working for us. Repeat that mantra, write it down all the time, and it always will. Understand right now, especially around the holidays, time is your currency. So repeat endlessly, I have time. I have time. There's an amazing, the Alexander technique. He works with incredible actors and basically every celebrity that you could think of. And he really teaches to slow down the mind and to repeat internally over and over, I have time. And when you do that, you actually calm the parasympathetic nervous system. And when you tell that to the body, the energy of the body, because time actually doesn't exist, right? It's elusive. But when we walk around and we're going, I never have any time, I'm so overwhelmed, there's so much going on. That's where I want you to take your power back. So it's a year before, it's 1 week before our holiday, right? So what if just right now you took a moment, and I just want you to be very intentional and say, what do you want to experience for the rest of this holiday? You're present. It's joyous. You have endless laughter. Your heart is full. You stay in alignment with your health goals. You enjoy in moderation. Maybe you make new friends, or you feel more love than ever before. You give love, that all your work gets done early, right? I was sharing with my client yesterday. I said, it's done. I actually want you to put down, you are done your work by Wednesday, not Friday. Give yourself the deadline of Wednesday. When we give the deadline, we will work in accordance with that deadline. You stretch it out, you'll stretch it out. That's how we work. So knowing that, what do you want? Because you're in the driver's seat and you have complete control. You have all the power. Neville Goddard talks about the law of assumption, and everyone is your mirror. Do this beautiful exercise of writing down what everyone in your family says to you, what your partner says, what your colleagues say, what your kids say to you, and watch what happens. Because if you write it down, what we write, it's like magic. I have a journal, it's not in here right now, and a pen. And I tell all my clients, get a journal and a pen and say that, infuse it with your energy and say, everything I write comes true. Everything, this is my magic pen. I anoint it right here today, and everything I write comes true. You might think I'm crazy, but honestly, would it hurt if you did? Not think I'm crazy. Would it hurt if you thought you had a magic journal and a pen, that everything you wrote down came true? Let's get back into the joy and the energy and the spirit of the childlike wonder that actually exists within all of us, and get out of the adulting and responsibility. This past weekend, my boyfriend took me to the Magic Kingdom. And I'm like crazy for Christmas, like one of my favorite holidays. I'd still like fully would believe in Santa if you would let me, if you didn't think I was nuts. because I think it's the greatest thing that a large man comes down your chimney and wants nothing in return for leaving presents under the tree than some cookies and some milk. And he spreads joy and flies all around the world, bringing happiness to everybody. So I say this because I really want you guys to be intentional about what you want to create. So right now, what I would love more than anything. Oh, I love this. Okay. So the one thing, oh, Tracy, this is so good. The one thing, lose weight so I can become pain-free again, so I can get my sexy back. Good. So this is what she wants to create, right? Great. So now what I want everybody to put in the chat, what is that one thing? What is that one thing? And I know we're streaming on multiple platforms, so if I don't see everything, but please put that in and I will answer questions and I will respond. But I love this because I just want, so her primary is to lose weight. So what we want to do is look at, okay, great. You want to lose weight. So who do you need to be? How does she dress? How does she eat? How does she think differently? Who is she? That's what we want to look at. What is that one thing that we want? And who is that version of us? And how is she different than who we're being right now? And then I want you to ask yourself these questions. And we have these in the workbook. And I want you to actually ask, is there any part of me that doesn't want this? Because when we've had struggled, something that I teach is we're on a revolving door or we're evolving. So if you have things in your life that are continually coming back year after year, same space with your weight, same space with money, nothing has evolved past that, right? Then you haven't actually evolved. It's a revolving door, which means you haven't shifted. It's just been incremental, which means there's something in your energy that's blocking you and stopping you. So if something in your energy is blocking you and stopping you, usually it's in our subconscious. That's why I love hypnotherapy. And this is why we do a lot of these, I combine a lot of these techniques in reprogramming the mind. So what I want to tell you is, and this is so powerful and beautiful, ask yourself, is there any part of me that doesn't want this? Is there any part of me that has a fear around receiving this? Do I not believe it's possible for me? That's really, really important to see. Do I not believe it's possible? Right? And the last one with weight that I often see is many keep themselves from living the life that they truly want to live until they lose the weight. I did this. I would call out from social things. I go, oh my God, no, I can't. And getting dressed felt like death. When you put on those extra pounds and you can't button and you just look in the mirror, especially if it's that time of the month or whatever's going on with your hormones, and you're just sitting there and you're like, I feel awful. I want to call out fat. Like I'm done. You're missing life. And one of the things that I teach in our Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program, and I'll say it here, and I really want you to take it on, is the fuller your life, the less you want the food. The more fixated you are on your food and your weight, that's where your energy goes and flows, which means you will be obsessing about food and that's all you'll think about, which means you're giving a direct command to your mind to eat. And this is when I teach about going on autopilot. I'm not going to make this so much about weight loss, but we go on autopilot in our minds. It's just like when you're driving and you just get home, we go on autopilot because we actually give it a command to the mind that says, I'm not going to eat that cake. I'm not going to go inside. I'm not going to turn that TV on. And then we do the very thing. Why? Because the mind doesn't know the difference between no and not. It does not actually vibrate on the frequency. So when you say no or not, all it hears is, I'm going to turn on the TV. I'm going to eat the cake. I'm going to overeat tonight. I'm going to do this. Why? Why? What did I say earlier? Your dominant energy is the frequency that creates for you or against you. So if your dominant energy is, I don't want to do that, I'm so sick of that, blah, 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 your words are saying that, but you're actually in fear that you're going to actually do the thing that you don't want to be doing. So when we look at reprogramming the mind, which is the number one pillar that we do in our reinvention program, and that I do honestly in all of our programs, because reprogramming your mind, your subconscious mind stopped forming after the age of 10. So that meant from the womb until 10 is what is driving every belief that you have about yourself, every identity, everything. And so what happens at age 10 as women, as young girls? That's the age in which we start seeing and observing ourselves outside of ourselves. So we're out of the divine mind, and now we're through the critical lens of the human. So when your mother says something to you, even if there was nothing around it that was in an energy of criticism, it can be interpreted that way because everyone's in their own life experience. So everyone is perceiving life through their own lens. So your mother could say something like, when you were 10, honey, I think you should wear the purple dress. And you'll be like, she thinks I'm fat. Or she doesn't like this. Or my mom's controlling. Or this or that. When in reality, your mom could just be like, I was just trying to help you out. I thought the purple looked pretty, right? But in your mind, so what happens with that? Our soul comes in whole. We start to splinter and splinter and splinter. That's why I teach wholeness. Reinvention is why I love it so much, is because I actually never thought that we could challenge a belief. Do you know you can challenge your beliefs? Do you know that many of the identities, the roles that you play in your life, the rules that you live by were given to you and are not for you? In fact, you didn't even decide on them. You didn't create them. The way in which you eat, the way in which you do the holidays, the way you dress, unless you challenged it and said, I don't want this, more times than not, it is heavily influenced by our community, by our family, by society. So when people go rogue and it's like, oh my God, they're so different or they're not this, right? I went to an all-girls private Catholic school. We all wore the same uniform. And if we had jeans day, well, everyone wore the same thing. It's like a walking Gap ad. I remember I was like, I can't stand this, right? But at the same time, what are we taught in society? Conform. Don't be different. Being different isn't safe. Being different means you're going to get looked at. I want you to question every belief that you have that doesn't serve you. I want you to question every identity, role, rule that comes into your awareness. It is the most empowering thing. When I actually started to question and I said, wait a minute. And I learned you can question your parents. You can question your boss. You can question a coach that you hire. Yes, you should. Because you are the divine source and the power over you. Right? As an intuitive, I always tell my clients I'm a world-renowned intuitive. I get calls all the time. Can you do a read on me? Can you identify where I splintered off? Because honestly, I'm blessed with several different things here that God has given me, but I can actually identify the age in which the fissure that originally happened energetically, when you splintered off and had that identity. What do we get to do? What is the purpose in that? Well, it will show you when it happened and the severity and how much energy has been given to that identity. So in order to release the identity and to come over here, those can be more challenging because they're so heavily ingrained. And they're often ingrained with the energy of not enoughness. Humans have a higher threshold for pain than we do for happiness. We are more apt to listen to something negative than we are happy. Just turn on the news. When do you hear something being celebrated joyously? That's why I stopped watching it. Right? I don't want to get into like a whole political thing, but I'm just going to say, like, has it ever made you feel good? No. So I want you to understand that everything that you are ingesting, nourishing yourself with, pay attention. It's not just food and it's not just water. It's our words, it's our thoughts, it's our programming. So if you don't like something in your programming, challenge it. When I learned that, I was like, oh my God, what? I can challenge all of these? Yeah, that never felt good for me. I just did it because my mom did it and her mother did it, and I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Oh no, that never felt good for me. Oh wait, my body was always guiding me to my ideal weight. I just wasn't listening. Your body doesn't want to be overweight. Your body doesn't want to be unhealthy. Your body can heal itself, right? I mean, it's not lost that there's water fast. I mean, so we go into so many things, but your body wants to heal itself naturally. So I'm, again, getting back to everything when it gets into reinvention and this framework that we are going to go into momentarily. I want you to understand that you hold the key. What words are you saying? What do you have on repeat? How do you reference money? How do you reference love? How do you talk about your marriage? How do you talk about your children? How do you talk about your job? If you start praising and celebrating and giving energy in the direction of that which you desire to be, it will show up for you. When you script with a pen and paper, as I was saying earlier, law of assumption, Neville Goddard, and you get into the feeling state and you start writing and you go, oh my God, this happened and this happened. Even if it's never happened, you see it come to life in your mind and you feel it and you have tears and you're sitting there. Just this happens to us all the time. Turn on a song that it's nostalgic, right? I was listening to Dave Matthews the other day and I was like, oh, bro, back to high school. I was like, oh my God, I can be in the back of this person's house and I can see myself there with my friends. And oh my God, it lives in the body. We are emotional beings. We are coded cellularly. Your cells have little receptors that hear everything you say. Everything. 99% of what we do each day is guided by our subconscious programming. If you don't take the time now to reinvent yourself and reprogram your mind, next year at 2025, you will be watching me again and you will look at a list and you will go, nothing changed. That's why we're here, right? Because we're going to all quantum leap this year. Girl, that's why you're here. That's what we're going to do together. We're going to go higher. So I want to ask you, who do you want to be a year from now? What do you want to have experienced? Not New Year's resolutions that are about doing. You're going to do this, to do that. We're not in the mechanics right now in the masculine. I want to get into who you're being because manifestation seems to be the key word that everybody talks about. And I remember I was like, I need to manifesting. Well, your manifestation will be fleeting. You might be able to get that cup of coffee or that parking spot, but then you're like, well, why aren't I manifesting love? And why aren't I manifesting money? And why? Because you haven't changed who you're being. Manifestation is about the identity. It's assuming the identity. It's assuming from the state of my wish is fulfilled. Wayne Dyer, one of my earlier mentors, wish fulfilled. It's dropping into, I already have it. I am in full celebration. What is gratitude? It's going to the divine creator, source energy and saying, thank you. It's already mine. It's mine. Oh my God, you made this happen for me. But all too often we're waiting for our outer reality to show us that there's proof. And if we don't see it right away, we go, it's not working and we're done. We do it all the time. You see it all the time with weight loss. This is why people lose weight and then they gain it right back. We do it all the time. People get money and then they pay off and get out of complete debt. Then what happens? They got that credit card again. They're in debt again. Why? They didn't change their identity. They changed what they were doing for a short period of time. And then they fell right back. And then people that go, but Melissa, I was so healthy. I had ideal body for a year. I go, yeah, but you didn't change your identity. But I did for a year. Yeah, but then your partner, something happened and they went in the hospital or you got sick or you broke a leg and you went right back to soothing yourself emotionally with food because you actually didn't change the way in which you operate in the world. This is why I put out a video the other day about Ozempic. I'm like, great, but now everybody needs to be on Ozempic for the rest of their lives. They actually aren't changing their eating habits. They're saying they're healed, but what got healed? So this isn't about Ozempic. It's not about anything else. I want to tell you that you hold the key. Let's shift your identity. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Put it in the chat for 2025 as I answer some of these questions. Okay, I need some water here. So Tracy, I want you to bring the sexy back now. We're not going to wait until you lose weight. That's just a waste. What if you died tomorrow? What are you going to not feel sexy? And I understand, guys, I understand your body. And of course you feel sexy, but how can you feel sexy in the process? How can you change it instead of losing weight to this is my healthy girl era? One of my clients who reinvented herself around weight, and I love this so much. She was waiting. She had this whole thing around waiting until she turned 50 or that waiting until she turned 50, that by 50, she was going to have this like coming out party, like a quinceañera, right? Like she was like, I'm going to turn 50 and it's going to be, and everyone's going to be, and she had this vision in her mind where everyone's going to be like she'd walk in, her hair would be blowing and she'd be in this like sexy dress and they'd be like, oh my God, what did you do? Like, oh my God. Like we all love that. We all love the makeover story. Like they dressed, hey, this is so good. Well, 50 came and went and it didn't happen. And she kept getting in her own way, right? She even, we were working and she's like, Melissa, anyway, I'm going to tell you the end because we don't need to get into too much here. The coolest thing was then she was talking with her friend and she was giving her advice. And she's like, Melissa, it was so great. I was sharing with her things that you tell me and it was so good. And she was getting it. And then I said to myself, wait, this is actually for me. And she said, and then I heard you say all the advice that we always give is first and foremost meant for ourselves, because it is. And something clicked and she said, wait a minute, I turned 50, but why was I telling myself I had to have this until 50? And then she was beating herself up. And I was like, exactly. So what did she do? From that moment forward, she said, that's it. She got the walking treadmill. She started watching Hallmark Christmas movies. She's like, I'm not waiting to get a breast reduction until I lose the weight. I know I'm going to lose the weight and they're going to look even better and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to schedule it now. And I'm going to schedule this and I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to do. And she started putting in motion. She started operating from the identity. Within an instant, she had shifted her identity and essentially quantum leaped. And all of a sudden, she was releasing weight with ease. She started eating differently. She went and got a water bottle. And these slowly started stacking. It wasn't very slow, actually, as I'm saying this. And it felt easy and it felt good. She shifted her identity. That's how powerful, that's how quick, that's how easy. So I said to a client yesterday, I said, listen, let's get off the weight loss train. Your mind is done with it. So if you tell yourself I'm going to lose weight and blah, 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 pick a new story, change the frame. That's what we do in reinvention. We change the frame. So if you've been wanting to lose weight forever, stop talking about losing weight. Your mind is sick of it and it's going to put you back on the loop. 80,000 thoughts a day, 60,000 of them are negative. It's going to go right back to the loop. Oh, we're going back to, she's telling us she wants to lose weight again. Okay. So we'll direct her towards a diet, but then she told us to lose the weight. So she wants to gain it back again. So we'll have her do this for a little bit. This is what we do. She does this every year, right? The mind, hey guys, we love routine. So the mind loves routine. Oh, good. She's back on that diet kick. Oh, look, she's telling us she's going to clean up her money. Oh, look, she's going to start online dating again. But she only does that for a little, and then she finds something wrong with she's telling us she wants to know her purpose, but then she's telling us she's stuck. Keep her stuck. Get her really confused. The mind's only giving you exactly what you're asking for. And the universe is following in suit to your fears. Whatever your dominant energy or your expectancy. Watch what you expect. Right? Neil Donald Walsh, your assumptions tell you everything about what your beliefs are. What do you assume to be true about you? What did you assume about the outcome? Right? Often when I would lose weight and gain it back again, and after my fitness competition, when I won a trophy for best body, you want to know what? You want to talk about feeling so embarrassed about actually transforming your body and then gaining the weight back within less time than it took to even transform your body to begin with, because I went right back. The fitness competition, in my mind, it ended up being just another diet. I didn't realize that, but it was like, oh, I'm going to do this for 5 months and then I'm going to do the competition. And then, so for a little bit, I maintained it, but then I was obsessed with trying to keep it. It wasn't healthy, right? And then I sabotaged with emotional eating. Why? Because I was so disconnected from myself and my worth was so tied to my weight. So when your worth is so tied to your weight, you're coming from a lack consciousness. I'm holding on for dear life. Oh my God, I must have the weight. Well, what happened? Then I'm obsessing over the food. Then all I'm thinking about is eating. Then it didn't matter. Inevitably, the weight would come back on because I never actually changed my identity and adopted the healthy habits of the woman who felt deserving of that body and had the confidence and the ownership. Because if I did, I would have gone, oh, I'll do another one, or I'm going to go do this now. Instead, I was waiting subconsciously to gain it back. So I ended up following in suit and doing the very things. And I'm grateful for that. You want to know why? Because I found myself on my knees in my New York City apartment after binging on Quest bars. That's right. And I said, God, I'm done. You guide me. I was really away from my faith. I had been born Catholic, raised all girls Catholic school. And I had in my mind, God was a God you feared. If you lied, you'd be punished. You sinners, and I was like, I don't believe in that. That didn't feel good. So I disconnected. And at the height of my struggles with my weight was when I had no faith. This is why I believe that faith is a foundation of programs, all of mine. I don't push religion. I don't care, but you've got to believe in something greater than yourself. I turned it over. I was on my knees. I was disgusted with myself, and I felt disgusting. There was guilt, there was shame. And on the outside, I looked like this perfect, happy. And on the inside, I felt I did not like myself. In fact, I loathed myself in that moment. And I said, God, you are now my source for all things. And if you help me with this, I will help as many women as I can. I will do everything. Use me. And that birthed my first program. And my first transformational program. And in that program at the end, it was so cool because the women that joined at the end, they all said, this was so much more than this was a life transforming program. You brought me back to faith. You brought me back to myself. The weight was just icing on the cake. At the end, I said, send me testimonials. They were all about transforming their lives. I'm like, yeah, but what about the weight? And they were like, yeah, that's cool too. See, when you take the focus off and you make it about coming into home to love with you, then you know that nothing is outside of you. So when we're looking at 2025 and what we want to create, I want to ask you, what's going to bring you home to you? Where are you outsourcing instead of inner sourcing? Where are you looking at material gains or going, look, I'm scrolling on social, that person has this, I could do that. You're in judgment. You're in separation. Reinvention is I have everything I need inside of me. I hold the key. I am in this life to prove to me I am my only competition. And it's not even competition because my soul's here to expand and to express, which means I just get to enjoy. What do you want? Who do you want to be a year from now, 6 months from now? Right? Our reinvention program, I say, you truly become this version of you that is drastically different in the best of ways. It's the version that you've always dreamed you could become. And I would love the opportunity I will share with you. For those of you that want to be a part of that, DM me right now, Reinvention. We have 4 spots left. I would love to have you. I will tell you guys more, but I want to answer some of these questions because it's really powerful. And I find that in answering the questions, it helps so many. So I want to see the results I work for. Is that too generic? Yes. Get. This is so beautiful, Antoinette, but I want to know so a lot's coming through as I'm just even reading this, where they're saying that the energy, even in which the question is coming from, is one from frustration, a bit of resentment, and feeling really spread too thin. And so I'm seeing that there's like 10% going here, 10% going there, 10% going here. But where do you want to go all in with your energy? I want you to just really look at what I started off saying in the beginning of this. There's one thing that's going to be a lever for each and every one of you. Where, yes, of course, you can paint your picture for me a year from now, which I want to hear. And we're going to do that. And we have that in our workbook here. But I really want you to ask yourself, okay, the rest would fill in. Where are you going to feel more empowered with you to go and be what you need to be out there, and trust that the rest will come in and be magnetized to you? See, guys, everything is the vibration, right? Do you see that? Everything's the vibration. So when you look and you see somebody that up levels really quickly, and it's like, how did they, what, like just a year ago, they were single, they didn't have money, they lived this. And now it's like they're in love, they just got married, they have a multi-million-dollar business in under a year. Like, how did all of that happen? Because that's a lot of energy. When you open up to, I am the creator of this reality, I am God's source energy that lives within me, inner sourcing a divine connection. I will be guided. I will be led. I just need to follow the desire on my heart and follow that of the path of most momentum, least resistance that is being illuminated for me. That's pulling me from a center of joy, not complacency, from a center and a space of joy, not safety, from a space, because growth is why we're here. So complacency, safety, you're going to stay status quo. And I don't care. You could go, yeah, but what's wrong with my comfort? I'm telling you right now, the universe will stretch you, whether you want it to or not. Something will happen that will make you have to show up differently. So you can either get on the train and guide the train, or you could just go, okay, I'm just going to stay here. I don't really want to. And this doesn't mean that you have to be some sort of, I'm going to have 15,000 things that I do this year and I'm going to go. That's very masculine. We are a balance of masculine and feminine energy. We infuse the two, the mechanical, but we first go off of the intuition. So it's a flow state. And I know everyone always goes, well, how do we get in the flow state? It feels so good when I'm there, but we only get there. I teach this in more depth in our programs, but it's when we take the time to align each day. The more that you align each day, the more that you prime the body to go there naturally. So this is when my clients will say to me, I used to have to journal and I used to have to be very intentional. And now they're just like, I just kind of wake up and it all happens, right? When I told you about my client that just shifted her identity, it was amazing because she just started saying to me, Melissa, I don't even need to journal anymore. I don't need to do anything. These things are just happening for me. They're happening. And I said, yeah, because you're the embodied state, right? You're the frequency. Okay. Okay. So I want to go back to this. Antoinette, I love seeing you here, honey. I want to see the results I work for. Is that too generic? I want you to get more specific. And I hope you heard what I said. See how that lands for you if you want me to dive any deeper in that. And then what I want you to do is go, okay, so the energy right now is that what I'm doing, nothing's really moving forward. And there's an energy of feeling underappreciated. So I want to ask you, have you been celebrating your successes? Where do you not feel appreciated? Where can you ask for more support and appreciation? And also, where can you assume it? If it's not happening in your outer reality, then it's not happening internally. Everything is a mirror. So I want someone close to me to see how valuable they are. Great. So one of the most powerful things that we can do is actually envision somebody else having the success. It's actually a very potent form of manifestation, is when we see the joy, the happiness, the health, the wealth. Like I do this with my clients each day. I bring them into my frequency and I see them having everything that they desire, that their goals are happening seamlessly. When we do that, we amplify our own energy, but we're really adding to that manifestation for them. So that's beautiful. So bring that into a prayer, a manifestation, see it, visualize it, and create around it. Right? Like, what would that look like for them? What would be the state? What would be like, I want to say, what would be a scene that would bring that to life for you? When we want to drop in, guys, to a manifestation, a visualization, we want to make it as potent as possible. So what really brings that about is when we bring it to life in our emotional body, and when we start to bring it to life with our five senses. So what smells would be there? What would be in our eyesight? What would be in our feeling? What would we have in our emotional body? The more we bring something to life and we saturate the mind on repeat through words of affirmation, right? This is called neuroplasticity, which is one of the things that we go deep into in our Reinvention program, and that I do honestly in Limitless Academy, and anything that you watch of mine, where I talk about reprogramming the mind. Even those of you following me on YouTube, I have an entire thing around reprogramming the mind. So I infuse all of those videos with exact, not only educational steps on how you can do this too, but neuroplasticity is when we actually look at the neural pathways. What are the belief systems that we hold? What are what is the dialogue, right? Remember when I said earlier, we have 80,000 thoughts on repeat a day, 60,000 of them are negative that we often don't even recognize. They're like these little whispers. But when I work in our groups, right? And when we're going in and have my clients, they'll notice the whispers. They'll hear them and they'll go, oh, okay, this is fascinating. Like, I didn't even realize that was being said, because it's just going, right? Like, we don't even realize that there's a little whisper that's going, when you go shopping for groceries, that goes, those are too expensive. Don't buy those. That's organic. You save $2. That's coming from lack consciousness. I'm not saying not to, watch your finances, but look at the energy. So we will overlook things like that. We don't realize how often we'll just go in the mirror and we're brushing our teeth and we're like, oh, you look a little tired today. You look old. Oh, is that a wrinkle? What's that suntan? That doesn't, ooh, look at your belly today. There's these little, so we want to get the nuanced phrases and catch them and reverse them. Joseph Murphy really speaks into, we have the power to change a belief within 17 seconds. If we can take a belief and pause it, rephrase it in that 17 seconds, we can simply just do an energetic cancel, clear, delete. No, thank you. My new belief is I'm beautiful. I'm aging backwards, that my skin is luminous, that I am powerful, that I release weight effortlessly, and I have my ideal body indefinitely, right? That I am happy and kind, that things just always work out for me. Everything is always working for me, and money just comes to me because money comes and ideas come and $1 million ideas come and they just flow to me. And I allow that. So we want to watch our words. We want to watch our frequency. Okay, let's go into these. Oh, these are such good questions. Okay, so Antoinette, just to close that loop, I do hear you, thank you, and do feel frustrated because I feel stuck with my physical being. Okay, so if you feel stuck with your physical being, we want to stop saying stuck. We want to recognize that the words in our mind and the freezing that we say. So if you're feeling stuck with your physical body, and if that with your physical being, if that has anything to do with health, if you have any health struggles, or with your weight, if it isn't shifting, I want you to tap in energetically and actually call on that part of your body where you feel most stuck. I'm feeling it more for you in your belly than anything else, which is where a lot of not enough comparison energy, frustration energy, anxiety lives in your body. So you want to place your hand at everybody that's feeling stuck in any area, or especially if there's a health problem, or if there's weight, or if you're feeling stuck in your purpose. I want you to actually, so first and foremost, if you're feeling stuck around weight, ask, or with health, ask, where does this energy live in your body? Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your chest? Is it in your solar plexus? Is it in your throat? Is it in your head? Is it in your lower back? What chakra, where is it living? Is it living in your belly? I'm feeling a lot of women with your belly right here, right now, whenever you're listening to this. So just understand, we'll get this clearing. So we're going to do this together right now. So you're just going to breathe into that space, and you're going to do something that I teach, which is called the 5, 5, and 5 breath. The 5, 5, and 5 breath was a divinely downloaded breath technique that I was given. I am a breathwork practitioner. And this also combines a bit of NLP along with hypnotherapy. What you're going to do, though, is, I'm not going to hypnotize you, but this allows you to access your subconscious mind while getting your conscious mind to take a back seat. It's a great way for you to actually alleviate anxiety and to actually tap into your subconscious to find out what's going on for you internally and energetically. And you can do this at any time. Everything that I like to teach, I want to empower you guys to do this stuff on your own. I don't want you to be dependent on me. I want to give you the faculties and the tools so that you can do this on your own, so that you can thrive and go higher, right? So we want to go in. You're going to close your eyes with me right now, hand on heart, hand on belly. Take a deep breath in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suspend the breath, allowing the conscious mind to take a back seat as the subconscious mind takes hold. Hold it, 2 and 1. Exhale out through the mouth, not the nose this time. Slowly, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to take another deep inhale in through the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Suspend the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly exhale out of the mouth for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time on our last inhale in, we're going to do the same repetition. This time I want you to think about what is the thing that's causing you the most stress right now? Where does that energy live in your body? What is the thing that you're desiring? What's happening in your body? Where do you feel it energetically? Breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Suspend the breath. Good. 2 and 1. Exhale slowly out of the mouth, keeping your eyes closed for an inward experience. Hand on your belly, hand on your heart, or one hand on your heart, one hand wherever that energy lives for you, right? And now I want you to dialogue, and I want you to ask that part of the body what messages it has for you in regards to the thing that you're desiring or struggling with here today. If it's an ailment, I want you to ask what messages does it have for you. When did this energy get created? Can it provide you with a vision or a memory? For some of you, you will see a vision. For some of you, you will hear a word or a phrase. And for some of you, you will just have an inner knowing. And if you're not getting anything, that's okay. You can always come back to this in the replay. What questions? What was the earliest memory that you got created? Why are you here? What message do you have for me? And what do I need to know? What guidance do you have for me? Just take time to listen. Stay connected. Keep your focus here. Good. And when you're ready, just come back and open your eyes, take a deep inhale in and write down whatever you received. If you guys want to share in the chat for me, that was just a very brief way that we can tune into the body. We have to allow for silence in order to connect in and receive. Nowadays, more than ever, we are so disconnected and so tethered to our phones and always being occupied, whether we're listening to a podcast, YouTube, social media, scrolling, even if you're in the space of constantly bettering, and it's like there's always something on, and silence is a gift to the soul. And that's when you actually get to receive and beautiful, beautiful downloads. And so just take a time to write that down and see what feels true for you. When we feel stuck and our body isn't changing, it's often because we're harboring, we're placing too much emphasis, too much energy. So I want to ask you, what are you making your weight? And this is for everybody here. What are your weight, your wealth, your success, your relationships? What are you making it mean about you to not have it be what you want it to be? You know, when I was single and I felt like I was not in this, especially being over 40, not married, not having had kids, there's like a club that you're in as a mom and as a wife. And it was like, no matter how much success I had, that tainted it. I let it detract from the joy and from really honoring who I was and the choices that I made and the life that I had lived and the beauty and the richness in it. So generally, and right now while we're here, reinvention is for the woman who knows that she's meant for extraordinary, not ordinary. It's for the woman who knows that she's capable of more, that she may be playing big, but she's got a bigger game, and she's playing small in some ways. She's hiding and not being seen, and there's reasons for it, but she's sick of them and she's ready to go higher. She knows that she's got a vision and a mission, and even if she doesn't have clarity on what that purpose is, she knows that it's there and she's ready, even with a little fear. She's in transition. Maybe she's in midlife and looking back, but she's got the wisdom. And I believe, and this is how I feel at 46 years old, that I'm just getting started, that the best is yet to come, and that everything up until now was research and gave me the insight and the clarity. And now I get to write a new story, this next chapter, and it gets to be even better in a different way because I know myself. And when you know yourself and you believe in the desires on your heart and what you're being called to, then you don't doubt because you know that God, universe, source energy gave them to you. And when you know that it was given to you, then you know that it's guaranteed. So who would you be and what would you do differently if your success was guaranteed? Would you really be obsessing about your weight? Would you be obsessing about wealth? Would you be waiting to live the life and to be a yes until those things show up for you? Because all that's happening when you're waiting to have the weight off to get your sexy back is you're telling the universe, I'm not ready yet. You're telling God, source energy, that I don't deserve that yet. You're saying every time you look at your body in the mirror and you're noticing you get on the scale and it hasn't changed, you're going, hasn't changed yet. This is what I was expecting. Look at your assumptions. They will tell you everything about your beliefs about you and the patterns that you're tied to. So what if today you let go? What if today you took the invitation to be a yes to you, to invest in the belief that you have everything you need and that it gets to be easy and it gets to be fun and it gets to be yours and you get to do it your way now, your way. That you get to have all the experience that you never allowed, that you can make more money than ever before, that you are meant for the stage, that you are meant for the screen, that you're meant to write that book, that you're meant to start that business, that you're meant to be the mom, that you're meant to be the wife, that you're meant to go and start over on your own or live that life, that you're meant to live abroad or travel the world, or maybe finally find that home base for you. Maybe today's the day that you start a TikTok channel and you just go, you know what, I'm going to start just making my cooking videos and put myself out there in a new way. Where are you denying yourself? By putting off what you can do today to tomorrow's and saying to the universe, I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to start in the new year. Why do you think I'm doing Reinvent Yourself before 2025? Why are we waiting until the night before New Year's to create a vision board or get clear on what we really want and who we want to be? Why not be her today? And that's what we did in the workbook. That's how I created it for you. So all of you that registered, you have that. Please do it and share with me. And those of you that are ready to have your life, your body look dramatically different, and for it to be truly unrecognizable in the next 6 months in the best way, DM me Reinvention or put it in the chat. And let's get on a discovery call where I can share more with you about that today, where you can talk with my team. And those of you that just want to go higher, do this, watch this, be in this energy. We need to be in community to go higher. We are not meant to be alone. So we want to get off this train of like, I'm just going to read a book or I'll figure it out myself, or now's not I need to, I don't like, I haven't done this. You get to have it all. I don't believe that we get to have it all, but not all at one time. Why are we subscribing to belief systems that don't serve us? So I want to ask you guys, in the framework of reinvention, this is so powerful. So I want to make sure, Antoinette, that you feel complete with that. I want to get, I know there's a lot of questions here, but I want to also get into the framework and do the other activation that we'll do at the end. So make sure to stay on. When we feel frustrated with the body, we're working against the body. So I healed myself of cancer. I didn't go into frustration. I dropped to my knees. I heard you are healed, you are healthy. And I said, yes, you're right. Why am I buying into this? I'm done. No. And I, instead of working against my body and being angry with my body and right, I said, I will celebrate you every day. I'm going to honor you. I'm going to ask you what you need. And I fed my mind. Remember, what did I say in the beginning? The mind can't create what it can't conceive. So we need to saturate the mind. We're going to go into this with programming the mind. So I want you guys all to put in the chat, who do you want to be in 2025? What do you want to have achieved? Right? What do we want to have achieved? So we want to work with the body. We want to work with money. We want to work with love. We want to ask, who do I need to be in order to have that which I desire? And could I believe that I could have it now? I don't need to do a decade of therapy. I don't need to do a decade of building my business. I don't need to go and do all the things. I get to be my soulmate for myself now. I need to get clear on who that is, and then ask myself, what part in me, where am I not aligned with what I'm wanting to call in for me? Where am I not aligned with the money that I want to create? Where are my actions not aligned with the version of me that's got the multi-millions? Where's the action? Where is the version of me not aligned with the one that has the body? Where's she still drinking the wine? Where's she still not fully working out? Or where is she overdoing it from a place of lack and disbelief? Belief is everything. Belief is manifestation. When people are like, manifestation is so crazy, it's like, if you believe it, you will have it. I love Sophia Loren. I love her story so much. Why? Her grandmother, she came from nothing. She had a very hard childhood. Her grandmother created a song that she would sing to her, that she was beautiful, adored by the world. She was given jewels and riches and opportunities that only those could dream of. That she was loved, that she was gorgeous, that she was a celebrity, that she was famous. She came from nothing. Her grandmother sang this to her every day, and every word of that song her grandmother made up. What did she do? Neuroplasticity. She was programming her mind or neural pathways and impressing upon the mind repeatedly that which she wanted her granddaughter to have and to be. So Sophia Loren grew up believing, of course. I tell my clients, just say, of course that happened for me. Of course I got upgraded. Of course this money came. Of course that love came. Of course I manifested that instantly. So she did that, and that is the life that she lived. Look this up. You'll see the lyrics and you'll be like, what? Veronica said, I thought her lever was wealth, but I think my lever might be my body. Absolutely. I was fully confident in my body. Maybe the wealth and purpose would fall into place easier. I also want to tell you, Veronica, the biggest thing for you is actually knowing that you already have all these answers. So the wealth comes when you believe it. Your biggest thing is believing that it's already done and getting out of striving and trying to figure it out and asking outside of you what's already been given to you, because you already received these answers. And I know that for a fact, honey. So I'm telling you that for you, it's actually, I'm on purpose. I know that I'm a healer. I know what I'm meant to do. I'm being guided to my next step. And in my next steps, even more wealth will come, but get clear on the amount of wealth. Get clear on the exact dollar. Get clear. And then say, this is how I'd love it to come to me, or something better. I am open, I'm ready to receive. And then you have to expand your container to receive. Because remember, guys, in order to receive wealth, it's about being receptive. As women, we denied ourselves being receptive containers. We once were, back in the day, women were deemed, the courtesans, we were deemed queens. We were the ones telling the kings, go to war, go do this. This is how we're going to do this. And then over time it was taken. And then women started to derive their worth by taking care of, by putting themselves last, by deprioritizing themselves and their desires. And then that got celebrated by society. Yes, the best moms are the ones that don't go to the gym, don't take care of themselves, and they are everything and anything for all people. And they want for nothing. And they look like Victoria's Secret's models naturally. What? No. So we need to actually get back to opening our container to receive, so that more and more can come to us. But if you are nitpicking, and when somebody comes in, gives you a compliment, and you're like, no, oh my God, you look beautiful. I don't. I look, oh my God, no. When somebody goes and gets you dinner or coffee, and it's like, I'll get you back. Oh my God, let me Venmo you. Receive. When someone gives you a gift and you didn't get them anything, don't go, oh, I left yours at home. Go get it right now. Receive the gift. Receive the words of praise. Let others do for you. Give them the gift. and open your container to receive, and then the wealth comes in, then the love comes in. But when you are, I gotta, and your worth is coming from being the nurturer, being the martyr. I love taking care of everybody. It's what I do. I can't sit down for a minute. I just you also aren't able to receive. And then what happens? Resentment. Because then you're the one in the kitchen doing all the cleaning and no one thinks that you need help because all you've ever said is, I don't need help. And you give off the energy of, I've got this. And then you get frustrated that no one's helping you and your partner doesn't know better and blah, 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 blah. You train them. They're responding to your energy, who you're embodying. They're responding to your identity. So in order to receive, we have to, one, tell ourselves, I open my container to receive. I know that there is nothing defunct in me asking to be worthy of money. The creator source energy wants me to have it all. It's not that we ask for too much, it's that we've asked for too little. So we want to open that. So what I really want to tell you, Annie, is yes, your lever is your body. And it's also knowing that you look beautiful, you've got an incredible body, and that everything is here for you, and you know who you are, and you know what you want, and you're being of service in the world. And you just get to be ask for the next step and give immense praise and gratitude that you are all these things and that they've already happened for you, instead of the seeking energy of, I need to make it happen. It still eludes me. It's not here yet. Because the weight loss, like, you've done it, like, you know how to do it. And it's always easy when you just do what you know you're being called to do. You've said that to me. So, that's really is. And for anybody else who's relating to this, I want to ask you, where are you putting on your 2025, this is the version of me that I want to be, and you're still putting it in a want energy. Someday I'm still becoming her. Stop. You're her now. We're not dramatically shifting to become somebody different. We actually just want to come back into wholeness and remove all the clutter, all the things that have been saying that you're not enough for some reason. We want to remove all of that completely. We want to get you so grounded in, I'm already fabulous. I actually just need to ground in the belief and in the knowing that I am a badass and a big deal, that I'm extraordinary and I'm meant for an extraordinary life. And it gets to be fun, it gets to be easy, and I already have it all within me. And now I'm just saying, strip away everything that's holding me back or limiting me. That's all we're doing. So reinventing yourself is not, I need to become somebody else. It's, I'm actually becoming who I've always been, taking out any not enoughness energy. So I want you to look at the energy in which you're asking for purpose and wealth and body, and really drop into, what if I started to cement in every day that I already have that, I already am that. That's neuroplasticity. That's when we work on the neural pathways, where we affirm over and over again. That's what we do in reprogramming the mind and reinvention. It's reprogramming the mind. It's becoming intuitive. It's shifting your identity, and it's healing cellularly while elevating your energy. When we elevate energy, we enhance our experience overall. Right? When we're healing cellularly, it's actually epigenetics. We're going into the body and we're going, I actually no longer buy into that I just need to be overweight because everybody in my family is, or that depression runs in my family, or this. Epigenetics proves that you get to dictate to the mind, and then it will shift the composition on a cellular level in the body. That's how I healed myself of cancer. Okay. Chai, am I saying this right? I hope I am. Sometimes, I'm so glad you're here. Sometimes it is also a fear of actually getting what you have wanted for the longest and not being able to handle it or maintain it. Exactly. That's exactly right. And a beautiful point. And this is why, right, we need to expand our container to receive. Because, and I had this happen to me, I called in this epic love and experience. And it was like every dream of mine came true. And I did not have the capacity. So it was like pouring a cup of water, and I only had a 6-ounce container, and the water just kept coming, and it was pouring out until I felt like I was drowning. Like I was like, this is too much. And then I sabotage, right? That's what happens. That's what happened with me. I sabotaged. So why was it there for me? So I could expand my container to see where the gaps were within my ability to receive and to what I believed I was deserving and worthy of having. Because although I said I was deserving and worthy, and I manifested this incredible, epic person and experience into my life, what happens? This is why I teach reinvention and not manifestation in that way. I had not become the version of me that was able to hold the manifestation in that frequency. So it came in and then it, right? That's what can happen. That's why I then said, I want to only teach reinvention. It encompasses, this is by far the number one manifestation method, but manifesting alone does not mean you actually change the container. So you can manifest a lot of things. People manifest lottery winnings, and then they go bankrupt and end up in a worse position. They didn't shift their identity. I want you to shift from the ground up, change the foundation, so it sticks, and then you just keep going better, going higher and getting better and better, right? Okay, I love that. Beautiful. Kristen, I want to have my ideal body with an amazing hourglass shape, lean, toned legs, strong, defined arms, shoulders. I love the definity here. Flat stomach, perky butt, and boobs with amazing flexibility and balance. Absolutely, girl. Yes, you get all of that with functional training, which is one of my favorite things to teach. I want to be a woman with a close, connected, open relationship with my husband and have over 9 million for retirement. Done and done. Great. So let's reverse engineer this. This is so beautiful, Kristen. Gorgeous. Love it. I see all of that. That's all happening for you. So break it down. Do you see how she did the vision? She had 3 things, right? She got love, body, money, right? Beautiful. It's super succinct. Can we tell she's in my program? Super succinct, right? Our Limitless over here. Limitless Academy, girl, limitless thinking. So she's got the full clarity. So now what do we want to do? What are we going to do for Kristen? So for everybody here, you're going to write down, you've got the one lever. And if you want to do, you've got the vision, 2025, this is her vision. This is going to happen for her. And without a shadow of doubt, everything in her energy, I can feel it. It's all there. She's locked and loaded. So now it's about the identity. So how are we going to do this? So let's start with the body. What I'm going to tell her and what I'm going to tell you guys, I want you to see this. So she's got the vision. Does she have a picture? And so, Kristen, you can either respond to and I'm also going to do this. I'm coaching everybody. I want you to get a picture. I want you to ask yourself, was there a time in my life, do I have where I ever had that body, where I felt that? The legs, the body, the butt. If you do, pull that picture, because that means you've got the cellular memory that we can awaken emotionally in the body. And the more we awaken it emotionally, the more we can bring it to life, which means we're going to magnetize it to us. By law, it must come in. And you will naturally start doing, eating, acting in accordance with the vision. That's what's so beautiful. It's effortless, right? You just start, the mind starts going, well, wait a minute. And then you're going, oh, that's so interesting. I only ate half my portion. And so, I normally eat this whole, even if it's salad, it's like normally eat this whole thing. Why? Well, the mind informed the body, hey, we actually have a pretty cut six-pack over here. So it's too much food. We're all about health. We don't want the burger. We want this. We don't want, oh no, we're going to go to bed. We need our sleep because we get up, we're going to do our workout. We're like ripped. Like this is our body. Like, yeah. So I want you to either find a memory that lives within the body and a picture, or you're going to put it together. And you're going to take a picture and you're going to put it on a vision board, and we're going to break this down. And instead of just one vision board, you're going to have one just for your health and your body. And you're going to put up words that inspire you on that vision board. And you're also going to put up a picture of a perky butt, abs, hourglass figure that you'd want, yoga arms, perky boobs, all the things. And you're going to see it. You're going to put it together, and you're going to put words that inspire you. You're going to put a picture of your face in the center. You see all of this around you. And I want you to have images on your vision board, either create in Canva or do one that you see often. Or you can do a vision book if you travel a lot. or you could do all of them. But the more that we impress the mind, reprogram the mind, and the mind starts seeing that happens. And when you look at that board, it evokes an emotion in you of inspiration, motivation. This is possible. Not, I look at a board of me and, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's awesome. It's a cool board. You feel nothing. There's a flat line. That vision board's going to do nothing. It has to evoke a feeling of this is possible. I can do this. This is for me, right? And flexibility and balance have things that symbolize this. So then we want to go, okay, well, this version of me that looks like this and has this, how is she different? How is she showing up differently than this version of me right now? Maybe she's a lot more, maybe is she happier? She's more positive? How much water does she drink? You can get as detailed as you want. What does she probably eat for breakfast? She probably eats a very high protein diet, right? She probably gets 8 hours of sleep. She's probably belongs to a gym or has a trainer or invested in some equipment. Maybe she's doing some different workouts. She definitely prioritizes that each day. She definitely probably works out a certain amount of time. So then you start looking and going, okay, well, right now I only work out 2 days. I know Kristen works out. So she's like, working out's not a thing for her. So, it's like, if you're not working out right now, that version of you probably works out 5 days a week, four to 6. Well, then you need to start at 1 or 2, right? To build yourself up. So what is she doing that's different than this version of you? How is she eating differently? What are her healthy habits? How does she dress? How does she talk to herself? She probably celebrated the hell out of herself to get here. It wasn't by being mean to herself, right? By being kind, by being loving. What else is she doing? How else is she training? Maybe she creates a schedule where at first she's going to do a little bit more cardio, get the weight off, and then she's going to build up in terms of weights. She's going to start eating clean, right? I teach clean eating whole foods closest to their natural state. I don't believe in diets. I don't believe in deprivation. I don't believe in anything that's for a short term. If you can't do it long term, you're not going to do it. You haven't actually shifted your identity. And then the invitation is, okay, this version of me that lives this way, what's her identity with weight? Is she always talking about dieting? Or is she just in her healthy girl era? Is she living her best life as like, I've never looked better, right? What is her relationship to her body? How she talk to it, how she speak to it. So we want to break that down and then go, what's different about me? Who do I need to be to embody this and to achieve this, to have this in my outer reality? And what can I start doing today? What can I start doing today? That's a great thing also to put in Chat GPT. Chat GPT, and you guys got this in the workbook. It's one of my favorites. I have a stress fracture, so I have to move around a little bit here. Okay. Chat GPT, this great prompt. And I do this prompts with a lot of my private clients. I love Chat GPT. I share them all the time. Okay. If you guys follow me on social, I share these for like everything. Or not for everything, but I like to share good ones. So you can put in Chat GPT, Kristen can write this entire thing, and you can write in there, this is my goal for 2025. This is my current status for my height, my weight, my health. This is currently how much I have in the bank, and this is the current status of my relationship. Who do I need to be? Give me a step-by-step detailed plan on who I need to be to have this as my reality in 2025, 1 year from today. I want a detailed plan that encompasses my body. You can break it out for the money and for the relationship, or you can do it all together and say, give me a step-by-step plan that's doable, that will work for me. And when you work with ChatGPT, you want to put assignment. And you could say, you could even put my name in. You are my coach, Melissa Catherine. Or, if you want like Jillian Michael, I'm making things up here. You can put in anybody if you want to and you could just say assignment. I want to blah, 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 blah. It is December blank, 2024, 1 year from today. This is what I want to have achieved. give me an exact plan to get there, step by step, month by month, over the next 12 months. That's doable. That will work for me. Here's what's currently going on, right? You could just stop it there. And you can also put in there, I currently weigh this. This is my height. This is what's going on. And I need a plan that's doable, that's simple, that step by step, that I can do each day, that will get me to this goal in the next, 1 year from today, or 6 months, whatever. And then you can do the same for the next goal around your relationship. And you can do the next for the goal. And you could even put in, like, for $9 million for retirement, you could say, you are Dave Ramsey, right? For your relationship, you could put in assignment. You are, I'm trying to think of like a top relationship. Who's that chick, the psychologist, Sadia, for relationships? I mean, you can put in anything, or you could just use Chat GPT and say, I'm calling on you. You are the top relationship expert, marriage, expert in the world, in the United States. This is what's going on in my relationship. Give me an exact plan to create this, and see what it does for you. Chat GPT, the regular one, I think is free. And then like 4.0, is a bit more high level. So you want to do the same thing. So then Kristen's going to break down, I want to be a woman with a close, connected, and open relationship with my husband. Great. So who does she need to be? How is that different than how you're being right now? How can you add in more vulnerability? What can you do to create intimacy emotionally, physically, right? And in all facets of your relationship. What would that look like? How is she different? She probably has hard conversations. They do more date nights. There's more openness, vulnerability. This is where a great thing to do would be you guys having, and I know I teach this in Limitless in relationships, but where you guys have a monthly date where it's just like, hey, what's going on with you? Like, are you happy? Is there anything that I did or that, could be more supportive for you? Is there anything that I'm doing that, that rubbed you the wrong way or maybe hurt your feelings? Doing a check-in, just, hey, are we good? Every Sunday, like, hey, we're just going to sit down and kind of talk through the week. It was kind of crazy. What's going on for you? How are you feeling? Was there anything that kind of threw you off? Is there something that you're desiring? And this is when you can have an open dialogue and forum with your partner where you can talk about everything from sex and intimacy to conversations to how you're just operating to things around the house. And you just make it a space where it's like, hey, everything that we talk about here, there's no yelling. This is like us both coming to the table and we both get to speak. And when the more honest we are, no one's taking anything personally and we just get to be there. But we're only better together when we come together. And I find communication is the key and the pinnacle for marriages to open up to deeper levels of intimacy across the board. It's communication. It's not taking things personally and allowing for spaces that are safe where you can actually come in and talk to one another, where you're not hurried, you're not on your phones. This creates the connection. 9 million in revenue. It's like, okay, well, what do we need to do differently as a couple in our household? How could that come to me? How can I open myself up to receive this level of wealth? What are things that I can do differently? And what would be the identity of the woman who has $9 million in retirement? If she has $9 million in retirement, she is a multimillionaire. How does that version of me operate differently? Is she going to the store and looking for, not buying organic fruit because she wants to save some money? Probably not. Is she a woman that has multiple bank accounts and has a high yield savings and she's always looking for investments and ways that her money can work for her? Yes. Is she also somebody that spends differently? She probably carries herself differently. She educates herself around financial wealth. Right? So there are different things that we do when we reinvent ourselves and we're in the identity of the version of us that has the thing. What we want to do is close the gap and stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop always starting over on Monday. Oh, I'm going to do this, and untethering our energy to our desired outcome. The weekend's here. The holiday is here. I'm going to overeat, even though all I've been wanting is to lose 15 pounds. I'm going to overeat for the next 7 days. I'll worry about it in the new year. Great. Tell the universe that. And you know what else you're telling the universe? That you're going to put on weight and that you're going to throw caution to the wind with everything. That's not the identity of the version of you that steps powerfully into the new year. This doesn't mean you deprive or restrict. It's doing things differently where you're not just on I'm on again, off again, I diet, or I only watch my money, or I only go into a sales cycle for this. It's no, money just comes to me. Money's ever available to me, right? So we want to look at, if you're wanting love, it's like, okay, are you actually actively out there and putting it out, or are you sitting there hoping that someone's going to show up on your doorstep? Manifestation. When we talk about manifesting and people are like, I wrote it down, I have these vision boards and I sit in the energy and I really see it. Great. What are you doing? What actions are you taking? We have to pair the energy and the intuitive downloads and the flow, the guidance, with mechanical, with action, so these things can actually come to you, because the universe wants to know that you're serious. The faster that you take action, the faster things will come in for you. The longer that you delay, and I see this all the time. I see this with women. I get messages every year without fail, all throughout the year, of, oh, I'm going to wait until next year. I'm going to wait on this. I'm going to wait on that. I don't have money to invest in this right now. I'm going to pay for this. And I think I'm going to read the book over here. I'm going to watch some more videos. That's fine. It's not about a pushy thing. But I also want you to know, and this is across the board for everything, guys. It's not just here today. The longer that you put off doing what you can do today is the longer it's going to be for your transformation, for your desires on your heart to come in, right? The faster that you take action, that you're not going to make a wrong decision. Moving forward, everything, as Marie Forleo always says, is figure outable. And not only is it figure outable, but everything can be course corrected. Whatever, as long as you're moving forward, it will be very clear to you. And one of the best guidance that I can give you is, whatever you're currently questioning, I'm feeling this from people watching, things that you're unsure about, go all in. You will be redirected. Go all in on that relationship. You'll be redirected if it's not going to work. Go all in on that marriage if you've been wondering if things aren't working. What would happen if you went all in and you gave it all your energy? Go all in on that career idea. Go all in on the job where you're half in and half out, and just go, I'm going to let the universe, you will trust me. I have another client who giant quantum leap this year, and she was holding on for dear life to her job. And the universe stepped in. And even though, as an intuitive, I was like, girl, you got to go. She was holding on for dear life. She loves certainty, or she did. She changed her identity. She loves certainty. There was a money story, fear around, she was always the one that was deeply ingrained. Our money stories run deep. And the universe let her go, right? And all of a sudden she's like, well, Melissa, I was like, well, thank God it did. Because what happened on the heels of that was, she's had her best year ever. She's living her best life. They just bought their dream home, her and her husband. Her and her husband are closer than ever. It's the marriage, the relationship that she was wanting for years. Not only that, the job happened, and she stayed in her old pattern. And I said, please, if you do one thing for me, we're going to call her Sarah. If you do one thing for me, I said, Sarah, one thing, you cannot get another job. Just give yourself the grace of 6 months. Now, they didn't need the money. It was okay. But she had the money story, the fear around money, the lack, right? And she was also very caught in who she had been. She was the primary breadwinner, this identity, this controller, but in all of that, all she said for years was, I would love to not have to work. I would do anything. I would love. And then she was given it, but she didn't want to receive it. So she cringed and wanted to get a job right away. And I said, please don't, Sarah. Just trust me. Please don't. Please don't. She had one lined up. She even went on the interview, and I said, oh my God. And I prayed because I'm not the type of guide or mentor that's going to go do this or do that. But this was one time, every fiber of my being, all of her angels, guides, to her deceased mother and father came and said, please. And so I'm like, she can't. She didn't take it. And what happened? In that 6 months, she transformed completely. Her dream job came to her. She didn't do anything. She went, she lived her life. She traveled. She just took it in. And it took a little, right, rewiring. It was very uncomfortable at first. Quantum leaped. Who she is now, completely different. Completely different. They're leaving Florida. They're going to their home in the Carolina. Like, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. But it's in order to have what we haven't had, we have to do things differently. In order for us to become who we want to be, we have to do things differently. It doesn't mean that it always feels easy. What we fear and resist the most on the other side of that is our greatest joy, our greatest gift. And that is my invitation to you today with Reinvention. This is my signature mentorship. And I would love to be able to tell you about it for those of you that really want your life, your body to look dramatically different in the next 6 months. This is my invitation. This is my high-level mentorship. You work directly with me. We also have a group and we have a retreat and we have an exact program where you go step by step through this process, and you're going to do it live with me. And then you will have that program for life. What has occurred not only in my life through this process of reinvention, I've reinvented myself so many times. I'm in another one, and you're going to be able to do that with me in this energy. I just called in, like, truly the love of my life. There's been so many things that I can say here about not only maintaining my weight at 46 without a thyroid. I literally can wear the prom dress that I made. I made a prom dress. I should have it here. I should show you guys. It's so good. I like pinned it on my body. I'm like, oh my God. I became a fashion designer in the #1 market in the world for 12 years. 12. Never taught. How? I assumed the identity. Every opportunity came into me. I created a thriving online business, knew nothing about online. If anything, I was petrified about it. I had to shift my identity into somebody. I grew up very private. Everything, you keep it in the family. You don't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I have an online business, and I had to create like digital courses and products and became a nutritionist, went back to school for a completely opposite of fashion. I've lived all over the world. I've started movies, I've written books, I did my podcast. I mean, you name it, I have done it, and I'm continuing to go higher and reinvent myself in other ways. It is the most powerful and potent life transforming thing that you can do. And I would be honored. And this container only opens one time a year, and it's for an intimate group. This is not you getting lost. This is an intimate group, an intimate container where your transformation and your desires are inevitable. And for those of you that sign up today, I have a unique experience that you're going to have with me in person at the retreat that only you are going to have. It's so cool. And we're going to preempt with an intuitive mind body mapping session that you're going to get to do with me, where you get your own distinct blueprint. And that's what's going to happen for those of you that are here today. So I'm going to put the link for Reinvention for those of you that just want to learn more. I'm going to put it here. And I can say this, I think one of the coolest things, I always said I wanted to hire myself, is the combination of being intuitive, being a holistic nutritionist, having done this for almost 2 decades. I have been trained by Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, worked with Marianne Wills. I mean, you name them. I have worked with them, but it's not that so much as it is the experiences that I've had and what I've done personally, and being able to say that I have witnessed the transformations firsthand with my clients. I'm sorry. I know you guys are asking. I tried to put this in Facebook. Sorry, guys. I tried. So Reinvention. Now I want to go into our activation here as well. Where am I on time? Oh my God, I did so good. Yes. All right. So the 4 pillars with Reinvention, really 5. Reprogramming the mind. So I want you all to watch your words. Please do the workbook. I want you all to watch your words. I need you to understand that you are casting spells at all time. Everything you say is creating for you or against you. Only speak into existence that which you want to experience. Only speak into existence that which you want to experience. If you do not, I don't care if you're like, but Melissa, it's not real, go Delulu. You know, when they say Delulu is a Solulu, you're only delusional until it works. And then somebody goes, what did you do? Right? I remember when I was sitting there and I was being made fun of. Like, I mean, the way that I ate and the things that I was doing. And what are you're going to start an online business? What are you going to chant on it? I mean, it was like, you're going to do what? You live in the most expensive city in the world and you're going to make it successful? Yeah, I am. And I did. Right? You're going to do a TED Talk? What? Yeah, and I did. You're going to start this? Yes, and I did. And I wrote that book. And yes, how? I assumed the identity and I sat and I dropped into that energy. And then I lived it. I was it. And every time a limiting belief came up, I countered it. Every time a thought came up that said that you can't, or you didn't, or you're not deserving, I said, who said? Is that belief serving me or hurting me? If it's hurting me, I don't want it. And if I get to challenge every belief, and if every belief that I have, I gave myself, why in the world am I giving myself this belief? Why am I telling myself that I'm not enough? Why am I telling myself that she can have it, but I can't? Why am I preempting that this is going to take a long time? Look at your stories around your body. Look at your stories. Why do we tell ourselves, oh, well, aging, as we age, I mean, everybody as they age, they just get, this around their midsection, the fupa, and then this, and then, menopause. It's like, stop with the stories. I'm not saying medical conditions aren't real, but isn't it fascinating that it's scientifically proven that we can live well into our hundreds? It's our minds that have us go early. How many people do you hear say, oh, well, how long do you want to live? Or how long, and they're like, oh, I'm planning for retirement by this age. And my grandfather, nobody in my family lived past this age. And it's like, why are you saying that? And why are you allowing that to dictate how long you're going to be on this planet? That is so crazy. And why in the United States are we all planning to retire and that our brains are going to go and we're going to be decrepit? It makes no sense. And why would I want to retire when I love what I do? Why do I want to stop doing something that brings me joy? If we all did work that we loved, then we wouldn't be clamoring to be done. And if we all felt good and had energy and were healthy, then we wouldn't want to leave this planet. Everyone's like assuming that they're going to be in a wheelchair. And it's like, I don't understand why. So we get to write the story. And there is nothing more exciting and empowering than knowing that you hold the key to your own transformation and timeline till eternity. That you actually get to sit there, that the words that you say on how long it's going to take to do your business, to get online, to do this, it's all being written by you. And if it's taking too long, or if you've yo-yoed in your weight, or if you're up and down in your finances, look at your belief systems, look at your expectations, and look at your assumptions. And then say, what do I want my new story to be? Who do I need to be to have it? And is there anything in me that doesn't want it? Is there anything in me that's afraid? Is there anything in me that doesn't believe this is possible? And if so, I need to talk to that part. I need to rewrite that story. I need to create the identity, and then I need to be her. And every day when a thought comes up that moves me out of that energy, I get to realign and go, nope, she dresses this way. Nope, she's not going to beat herself up. Nope, she deserves the new workout clothes. I'm not waiting until my weight, blah, blah, blah. She deserves to feel sexy now. She deserves to have money now. She deserves to feel heard now. I'm going to go online, even if I don't have the business. I'm going to let my own audience come to me. I'm going to start putting into practice my animal shelter vision, right, Veronica? I'm going to actually create the full business plan for it. And I'm going to start praying and asking for investors. I'm going to start praying and asking for people to come in that are going to support my greatest and grandest vision. I'm going to ask that they come to me and that this is seamless and easy, because I know that source, divine, God, energy did not give me this desire in my heart to help and heal all these animals if it wasn't already in existence. And if my success is guaranteed, then it is my job to act in accordance and create the business plan that's going to facilitate the healing of all of these, animals that are in need, right? Kristen, it's like, okay, I was given this idea for $9 million in retirement. Well, I wouldn't even have that number if it wasn't already existing in an alternate reality. So now I get to ask each day, I get to pray, align me with that version of me who has the millions. How does she act? Who should she be? And then I get to notice every day, because every day in a multitude of ways, we are given two roads. We're either going to go higher or we're going to stay the same. We're either going to go the road unknown and become the version of ourselves that we've always wanted to be. And we're going to step into the resistance, into the fear, and we're going to go into the uncertainty, or we're going to ride the wave of who we've been, and we're only going to grow incrementally. Which one do you want to be? If you're ready to live the extraordinary life and play big and have all of your dreams come true, see what you're made of and how much changes for you in the next 6 months, then my invitation to you is reinvention. Redesign your life on your terms. Come and join me and our intimate group of women as we all go higher together in this 6-month transformational journey to become unrecognizable in the best of ways. If you are in transition, if you are unclear, if you are ready for your dreams to become your reality and you're done playing small and living by somebody else's rules or their limitations, even if they're your own, then this is the invitation that will change it all. And instead of looking at what is the investment, what do I need to do? I don't have the time. Notice every story that is coming up that's telling you otherwise, and say, instead of looking at what am I investing in, what am I losing, I want to ask you, what if you're investing in who you're becoming? What if you're investing in the future you? What if you're saying yes? And the saying yes to you today is all the energy that you need to already have your success guaranteed. Declare it, and it'll be yours. I cannot tell you the number of clients that tell me that they invest, and that same day or within that same week, the exact money comes back to them. In fact, one of our women in Reinvention, that exact same thing happened. She not only invested and paid in full, but she had the money triple and come back to her in 2 weeks' time. How? She wasn't coming from lack. She said, I'm ready. This is what I've been waiting for. And she went all in. And when we go all in, the universe will match that energy, because money is energy. And when we say, I am deserving, I am worth it, this is my time, I am ready, the universe matches that energy, and it will do so in the form of money. So I am putting this link here again. Get on a call with me. Let's do this before the new year. We start in January. Where do you want to be in 2025? 6 months' time. That would be June. What do you want to look like? How do you want to feel? How much money do you want to have? And if you're done staying stuck, because you will stay stuck without taking action. So if it's not me, if it's not this, then commit to taking action forward. Do the workbook. Be a yes to you. Take that next step. Know that you deserve it and you're worth it. But please stop making resolutions and sitting in the energy of wishing and wanting, and don't let another year pass you by. Because when you open up and you reinvent yourself, that alignment, that's when things become magical, and what you never even thought was possible starts showing up for you. I would absolutely love to have you. I cannot thank you enough here today. If you have any questions, guys, I'm sorry, Antoinette. Okay, if you guys have any questions about reinvention. Okay, Antoinette, I'm going to come back to this. I wanted to answer. So Reinvention is my 6-month mentorship. I only open this container one time a year. This is not an ongoing. It's one time a year. We start in January, we end in June. It's an intimate group. This is because you're mentored by me, right? This is not you being mentored by one of my coaches and our other programs. This is by me. And it's high level, meaning we do a lot. We're reprogramming your mind completely. This is rewiring your belief systems. We're shifting your identity, and we're literally doing what called a quantum leap. We're shifting your identity, and we're getting very, very detailed into every facet of you. So this isn't you piecemealing, I'm going to do this over here, and this is dedicated time to where you're being held accountable, and you're in a container of other women like you who are driven entrepreneurs. They have a purpose, a vision, a mission, and they're wanting to go higher. And they know that if they have the belief, the clarity, the confidence, and they are in a space of optimal health within themselves, that they will show up so powerfully. This container is about making you fully unstoppable. I have supported so many women entrepreneurs, and they come to me after they've been burnt out, after they've driven from their masculine, they're striving and struggling. They put on weight starting their business, being in their business. Yes, they brought it to millions, but they are unhappy. They are flying solo. They didn't make time for love, or their relationship ended up not growing together. And their health, they put on a lot of weight, and then they're embarrassed and they're not showing up as powerfully. And they come to me, and I said, this is it. This is it. I want to help you before it gets there. I want to have you knowing exactly what your body needs, and have you in a space where you feel so good in your body, where you can't wait to be seen, where you're sitting there going, I want to get styled. I want to do a photo shoot. I want to show up so powerfully. I want to go everywhere. I want to be seen. I want to live my best life now. And I'm not going to hold myself back. And after I made that commitment to myself, where I said, I never want another woman to hold herself back from living her best life because of her weight. Your weight is not your worth, girl. And I do know, though, the power in feeling confident and feeling so divinely connected that your intuitive instruction is undeniable, that you can hear it so clearly, and you are so connected to it that there is undeniable faith and trust in it. So that's what we do. So you not only have me privately, but we also have our group, and then there's the actual course, and then we do our reinvention retreat, which is like your coming out party. We do everything. We style the body, the mind, but we're reprogramming your mind. We're shifting your identity. We're healing cellularly, generationally, and getting you really locked and loaded. So you're like a manifesting machine. You're just attracting. And then you continue to go higher. And once you learn how to do this, you just continue to do different iterations. Once you learn this formula, it is incredible, because everything is energy. So once you enhance your energy, when you go to an event and somebody pulls your energy, or you go on a date and you're like, what was that? Or you're around family and you're like, oh my God. And you feel like you're hungover, though you didn't have a drink. That's because somebody pulled off your light, right? I don't know what's going on outside. Someone pulled your light. Everything is energy. So we have to plug you back in. Well, when you learn how to harness your energy, and when you learn, it's a huge truck going back. When you learn how to not only increase your frequency off your vibration, the foods that you eat, and the way that you nourish yourself inside and out, game over. It is incredible. So that's what we're doing. And it's just amazing. Yes. Okay. So there are two options. You can either pay in full, or you can pay monthly. And those of you who act today will get a mind-body blueprint from me. This is like your actual blueprint. So this is an intuitive integration where we do an energy read. It's almost like if you were looking at your astrological chart. I put on like your body map. We'll look at where your energetic fissures happened, where you splintered off and created identities that aren't serving you. And I will map them, and you'll see age 8, 13, this. And then we look at, okay, what are the things that need to heal to bring you back into wholeness? And we combine that with the tactical and the spiritual, right? And also with the nutrition. So this is spiritual nutrition along with actual nutrition. What are the foods that are best for your body? What are the supplements that are going to support you? What is going on for you in your world? And let's create the lifestyle plan that's going to support you, along with the actual plan for as you reinvent yourself. And we create that, but this individualized. And so you're going to get that today. That's usually $1,000 that people pay for that. And that's included for those of you that sign up today. So get on a discovery call to get in before the holidays, because we start the second week in January. Okay. Yes, there is a course, and you will have lifetime membership to the course. So you will always have that. And then you get all the recordings. So we actually have a membership site. So you will go in, you'll be able to have, if you can't make it. Yes. So for anybody that is traveling, I got asked this from another woman who wanted to join. If you are traveling at any time, guys, first off, you can access it at any time. Two, you can listen to the recordings and you have them for life. And three, you can always ask me questions privately pertaining to you. So you're not going to miss anything. Don't put off because that's just the ego coming in going like, but we'll be traveling and we won't be able to access the full. Yes, you will. You'll get everything that you need as long as you believe you will. Everything is belief. Everything is belief. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, the retreat is the first week in May. It is that Thursday to, you'll fly in on a Thursday and leave on a Sunday or a Monday morning. I usually tell people allow another day for integration, but it's going to be I can't even, so anyone that has come to my retreats in the past, or anything of this nature, and this is only for the women in reinvention, I don't tell you what's going on because I don't want any expectations. I want you to come in fully open and ready to receive. And I find that it drops you into the energy of the wonder, the excitement. It's like Christmas. So my clients always say that I've been doing this like for almost 20 years, guys. So trust me, I've run a lot of retreats internationally and locally. And I can tell you that it's awesome. And everything I do has a purpose to it, but they are truly transformational. And it's the first weekend in May. So you guys have ample time. And okay. And so going back to this, Antoinette, and I realize we've gone over a little bit. I just wanted to finish this. When have I left on time? I love being active. I work out at the gym 3 to 5 times per. If there's any other questions with reinvention, just put them below. I love being active. I work out at the gym 3 to 5 times per week and play tennis 3 to 5 times per week. I feel great, but my body isn't where I want it to be. I want to keep muscle and lose fat, but don't know what change to make to get to where I want to be. What do I have to rewire? Well, first off, you want to rewire the belief. You want to rewire the belief that it's easy, and you want to rewire the belief that your body releases weight, and you want to look at any stories that you have about aging and what weight has been for you. And I'd love to invite you to what I talked about in the beginning of this. Instead of weight loss, we're releasing weight, and it's your healthy girl era. This is your time to be your healthiest, happiest. It's not about dieting. And I also want you to ask yourself, what am I making this weight mean about me? And what do I believe I will feel or have when I release this weight? What will be different about me? That's going to help you to create that new identity. The next thing that I want to tell you is it's not about fitness, guys. 90% with our weight is food. It's food. So I find that many workout. So I have endless YouTube videos on this. If you don't follow me on YouTube, definitely do. I just did one about transforming your body over after the age of 40. And if you go on my YouTube channel under live, it's right there. And if you're on my email list, then you saw it too. But I give an exact framework of what to do. But zone 2 cardio, get a weighted vest. I love weighted vests. I have it in my Amazon storefront, which is in a link, the one that I use, or just look up weighted vests. I personally got my recommendation off Shailene Johnson, who I love, and I always love to send people her way too. But the weighted vest helps to not only build lean muscle, but strengthen your bones. And it will help in changing your body composition. It's great to walk on an incline. It's zone 2 cardio. I say always, when you're doing anything to transform the body after the age of 40, get away from plyometrics and high intensity intervals, HIIT training. Instead, you really just want to do zone 2 cardio on, this isn't like you're lackadaisically walking your dog. I want you to actually, put it on an incline and walk. But get those 10,000 steps in a day, do what you can, where you can, when you can, focus on heavy weights to transform the body, do compound movements in circuits. Gone are the days of like leg day and back day. No, that's antiquated unless you're actually doing a competition. I believe in functional training, and this is where we're working on balance, recruiting as many muscles as possible and mixing it up as often as possible. So your body is always second guessing or having to guess itself. And it also works in preserving the mind. The more the mind doesn't know what's going on, the stronger your mind's getting. Your mind is like a muscle as well. So in aging backwards, we want to do it in all faculties, right? That's why I do holistic. So that's what I would say with training. Know that 90% of it is diet. Go to clean eating. For you in particular, what I'm getting is get measuring spoons, measuring cups for at least 7 days to actually know what you're putting into your body so that you can understand, and get an app like MyFitnessPal that's free and track for 1 week and see what your calories are, just so you have an understanding. I don't believe in tracking calories or macros and all of that. I know people do. I don't want to have to live that way. And as somebody that had dieted forever and a day, that's just not my joy. I know my body is going to, your stomach's the size of a fist. It wants to be at its ideal weight. It's you listening to your body, eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full. Wait till your body is hungry to eat. Don't just eat because it's lunchtime or dinner time. And I know people go, yeah, but my kids eat at this time. It doesn't mean you have to eat with them. If you haven't pooed yet, please don't go and put food on top of like waste in your body. Let it eliminate. Let it flush out of your body. We don't want to just put toxic on toxic, right? So there's certain things that your body's going to guide you to, but you are nothing if you don't know. It's like running a business without knowing your numbers, right? It's like just using a credit card and being like, I think there's like, right? Like, no, we need to know what we're putting into our body. Focus on a high protein diet, low to moderate fat. Women have 30% more fat cells than men. We don't need a lot of fat. Keto for women, I personally don't believe in it. I don't believe in dieting. I think, yes, you're going to find that it works for some, but I find it really messes up quite a few. So I would say go to clean whole foods, cook 80%, 80-20 rule, 80% of the time be at home, 20% let yourself go, but really notice the dieter's mindset. I'm going all out today. It's 20%. It's the weekends. I'll start over on Monday. That's not what we're going for. If you are healthy for life and you're at your ideal weight for life, then that's not just for an interim. And I understand getting the weight off, fine. But you need to be in the knowing the weight's off. You're already her. What is she doing differently? How does she think and how she talk to her body? What's your fear around it? What's your belief system? That's what's blocking you energetically. Dropping in and then creating a plan that's sustainable, that excites you, that makes you want to go. Zone 2 cardio is the way to go. Lift heavy, compound movements, circuits. Compound movements is, I'm going to do a squat with an overhead press, right? That's something your heart rate will be completely up. I'd focus on weight training 3 times a week and finish off with a little cardio. And you don't need to be in the gym for a long period of time. Cardio, no more than 30 minutes, then go and do weights. And do things that challenge you. And then also look at if you're eating late at night, guys, you want to close that kitchen by 7. The later you eat, it's not being burned off. It's being stored as fat on the body, right? We want to wait till we're hungry to eat. We want to stop when we're full. Know that the food can come back and pay attention to what you're eating. I like nutrient dense, calorie deficient. I'd rather have a giant salad, right? And like be able to eat and have just a lot of nutrients coming in and put my protein and my avocado, my olive oil, like, right? But also with a salad, just like with a shake, pay attention to what are your sources of fat? What are you putting in? I have so many clients come to me that go, Melissa, it's all organic. And I did this. And then I'm going, well, have you measured anything? What are you doing? And they're doing like a quarter of an avocado or half of an avocado in their shake. And then they've got coconut oil and then they have hemp seeds. And I'm going like, what are you doing? You have like 40 grams of fat. Or they're ingesting fat before a workout. Oh, I had peanut butter and a banana, or I had like, I'm like, why are you ingesting fat when you want to lose fat? Fat slows your digestion. Your body is going to burn off the last thing you ate, right? There's a purpose to fasted workouts, right? But also if you're going to have something before a workout, have protein, lean protein. You want to have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, period. And that's the thing. But guys, go watch my YouTube video. I'd literally break this down. I do have to go because I have a client soon. So I love you all. I just want to see any other questions. Oh my God. Teresa, you look so amazing. I would love to look. Oh, this fab at 40 girl. Of course you are. Of course you are. And thank you. And you get to. Everybody does. We just keep getting better. I look better now than I did when I was 30. Hands down. Hands down. Go, like, you can watch my videos. I'm like, what? Absolutely. And in most of like I try not to do filters on anything. I know sometimes like they come on and I'm like, I didn't want that. But I mean, like, I like me. I like the way I look. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of all of it. Okay. Antoinette, thank you. You got it, girl. I'm here for you. You deserve to feel great in your body. You get to. I just did a video, a reel on Tuesday. What day is it? Friday, literally in like my underwear. I mean, I wasn't in my underwear. I was in like, I sleep in, like it was like a little crop shirt and thing. And I was like, you know what? I need women to see, like, I've been in a boot. I don't have it on right now because it's a lot. But I have not been able to work out for 30 days. Hopefully I get it off on Monday. My like mom went in the hospital. I mean, there's been so many things, baking Christmas cookies. We're doing all the things. And it's like, I believe that my body maintains its weight. And I've totally been eating more. I just went to Disney on the weekend. Like, I'm having like, I have candy canes. So it's like one of my favorite. Like, I love mint chocolate. I love peppermint. Like candy canes this time of year. Yeah. I mean, I think I have something sweet every day. I mean, I'm like, dark chocolate is my friend. Hot cocoa at night, but I make my protein hot cocoa. If you guys don't follow me on social, you should, because I did my protein healthy hot cocoa. I'll just tell you all here. I make it for me and my boyfriend every night. Literally, this is like what we have after dinner. It's a scoop of protein powder. I love PE science. I do 2 cups of almond milk because we're doing 2 servings. 3 tablespoons of cacao, and that's it. And then if I add some stevia, because I like things extra sweet, but he doesn't. And that's it. And it's frothy and it's beautiful. And if you want even more protein, instead of the almond milk, use liquid egg whites. That'll get your protein up there. And have it for bed, before bed. Like, I mean, we'll have it like, it's like our dessert. Like I put like a little candy cane. He's like, I don't need your candy cane. I'm like, well, it's for me then. I'll eat it. It'll be my 10th of the day. But I tell myself, like it wasn't like the most comfortable that I'm like, I'm going to put myself online in like, little boy shorts. But I was like, I'm 46 years old. I don't have a thyroid. I have not been able to work out. This just proves that if you just do what I'm doing, like I'm telling you guys, I eat clean. I don't subscribe to all these crazy diets. I eat real food. Doesn't mean that I don't have candy canes or chocolate, or like we were at Magic Kingdom. We went and got our ice cream and like I'm sitting there and he's like, you else that? I was like, I know. It's mint chocolate chip. Are you kidding? But I don't do it all the time. And when I do, I enjoy the hell out of it. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. I teach this, right? And for those of you that just want like a weight loss program, so Reinvention, hands down. Those of you that are like, I am ready to like friggin' go big. Like I want it all. I'm ready for the money. I'm ready for the body. I'm ready for the love. Like, I don't care if you have all these things, you want to amplify it. That's it. Limitless Academy is my online membership. It's ongoing. It's live. I teach it. It's incredible. We just had our bonus. I gave everybody a Christmas gift last night, 2-hour call. And it was with our resident astrologer. Like, we do everything. That's my life, mind, body mastery membership. Right now, this holiday, it's on sale. You can join for only $98. It's incredible. You hear from me every day. We're in a Voxer real-time walkie-talkie. You get coaching. They ask questions. I make it as personal as you can. Obviously, it's not as high touch as my other programs, but it's incredible. The community is incredible. The women, everything. It's an academy. I mean, we've been running it for 5 years. It's amazing. It's amazing. We have guests. It's incredible. The workbooks, it's amazing. Love it. And if you just want weight loss, that's my Love Your Body, Lose the Weight program. And that is an online course. It's not run live, but it's transformation. It's incredible. It's an online course. And you get to go at your own pace. And it's exactly what I did to heal my relationship with food, to get over disordered eating, chronic dieting. I had disordered eating. So I went from like emotional eating to orthorexia nervosa, right? Where I'm like, watching every calorie and working out incessantly. And then I would overeat, emotionally eat, gain 15 pounds. Then I would go into like hyper restriction. It was a fun little dance that I did. It's great. But that program is what's healed. I mean, that it's highly transformative. And that's on sale right now for the holiday too. And like I'm trying to get all the links here. Let's see. Anyway, if you guys want that, just DM me. I'll get you all the things. Oh, I think I just did something here. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go back. Wait, did I go off? Am I still here? Okay. All right. On that note, I have to go because I have a client in 5 minutes. I love you guys. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for being here. I'd love to hear what came up for you today in reinvention. What was your biggest aha? What's that one thing for you that you're like this, right? Like you came for a reason. So that one thing, by the way, I always ask because it's your soul. It's what I call soul speak. You got something that was only meant for you, that your soul said, I'm going to highlight this for her because she needs this message. And somebody else got something different. And when we put in the chat what that was, we all get to learn from one another, but just know that what you got most is what your soul needed. So trust it, be it, and let's all have our most epic 2025 ever. Yeah, stay tuned. More to come. If you don't follow me, subscribe. If you like this, please leave a comment, share it with anybody who needs it. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And here's to an epic 2025. And we're all rising and going higher together. I can't wait to meet those of you who are joining Reinvention and to talk to you. I've already seen a bunch of calls coming, which is awesome. And I'm excited. And yeah, I just can't wait to meet you. I'm just grateful for your energy. Thank you for being here and come back for more. I'll see you guys each month. Bye. Each month, each week. What am I talking about? Okay. Bye, guys.